Why you're not getting referred, even if your work is great. If your work is solid, but your business isn't growing, there's a good chance this is why. Most photographers think referrals come from doing great work. This is true, but great work is the bare minimum. People refer photographers that make them feel respected, cared for, seen. I've had interns with insane talent, but they struggle to book return clients. And I've always told them, your business lives or dies by how people experience you, not just your portfolio. You know, I can think back through the years and I've had scenarios where, say if I had one photo shoot with a new client and something didn't work out right. Maybe it was the weather or staging or something kind of happened where maybe we had to reschedule, or maybe we had to change the shoot somehow, some way. And they had a kind of a bad attitude about it. I know it wasn't my fault. I've shot scenarios where things happened that maybe the shoot had to be delayed or something like that. But the way the people react with one another and the drama and, some of the stuff that happens that, boy, I've experienced it once. I don't want to experience it again. You know what I'm saying? When you're a photographer, you get to build client list, hopefully of people that pay you a fair wage and you enjoy spending time with. And that's kind of the way that I look at it. So try to make your client list people you enjoy working with, or else you're not going to enjoy working with them, basically. One way to see your clients is to take care of them on the shoots. A lot of times, say like if I'm shooting a real estate shoot and my client overlooks something, maybe a small detail that doesn't seem like a big deal at the time, but when the photos come back and we're looking at them, or they're getting a gallery image and they're like, oh, I wish we would have moved it. After you work with people for a while, you get to learn what their preferences are. And, you should remember that if you want to keep working with them. And if you do, they're probably not going to have to email or call you and say, hey, we need to have this tweaked. So if you want to have good relationships, remember what your clients like, which sounds crazy, but once you learn what they like, then you can kind of give them what they're relying on you for. Keep that in mind. Remember what they like. One thing that I always try to do is take care of my clients, and I can't do that with everybody. And I remember at one point I was shooting for up to like 90 realtors in 1 year, and that was a lot. And I like to think that I still gave good service to each and every one of them. Some of them would hire me for 3 shoots a week, 4 shoots a week. Some of them would hire me 3 times a year. It was always different. But for each and every single one of them, I would try to remember what they preferred. If they like the lights on, if they like the lights off, if they want me to close the shower, or do they want to see what the shower looks like. There's a lot of details in there, and I didn't really trust my brain to do it, but it did. The client journey, what do they remember? When I was shooting weddings, hopefully you don't see one wedding client 2 or 3, 4 more times down the year shooting weddings for them. No. Maybe you could shoot family pictures or senior pictures for the kids, and all that's kind of fun and everything, but you have to kind of focus on what they remember. So being personable with people, trying to be helpful, being nice. If you're at a wedding, be the photographer, but also be the person that kind of glued it all together. You know what I'm saying? I've shot a lot of weddings in the past where there was no priest, or there was no one actually there to do the wedding. I'm not saying that I did the wedding. They usually didn't have like a wedding planner either, so I would become the wedding planner. And that was fine because I wanted to take care of my clients. And if you want to take care of your clients, you have to figure out what's important to your clients. Okay, so how do you build trust with your clients? One thing that I would say right out of the gate, if you're trying to build trust with somebody, then always show up. And I've had situations with people where, I love to be sold things. If you're going to go to the store, retail, or whatever, and I'm not 100% sure if it's clothes or if it's food at the grocery or whatever, I love to ask and then get a professional answer from somebody. I don't know. Maybe with technology and AI, I can get away from people and just look it up on my phone or take a picture or whatever. But no, still, I like talking with people, and I feel that people inherently want to give you their honest to God opinion on things, the information that you need to make an informed decision. So I'm kind of what they call a flopper. It's like, just point me, I'll just buy it. Just take my money.
And take my money.
So anyways, I'm putting my trust with a professional. And as a photographer, that's what you have to do as well. So how do you build trust with people? Take care of them. Be a good listener. Listen to what their needs are, and then do your best to accommodate them. The 3-part referral formula: communication, clarity, connection. That's pretty wide open. How do you get referrals from your clients right now? I can remember forever what the best way to get referrals from people is to make sure that you ask them for the referral. So if you don't ask for referrals, you still could potentially get a referral from somebody. If they're that happy with the experience that they had with you and everything, they might just be like, wow, we know somebody else that needs some photos and we're gonna send them to you. And that's great, but if you make it part of your process or your system, then probably get a little bit more referrals, because you're asking. And if you're not asking, you're probably not comfortable enough with the people to ask for them. So if I had a bad experience with somebody, I wouldn't ask them for a referral, which would be awesome if you did anyways, but good work, good relationships, ask for the referral. Clarity is this word that keeps popping up for me in so many different avenues. There's clarity with me. What am I doing? What am I offering people? What does our messaging need to be like? What does our shoot need to be like? What is our agreement? It's so important. What am I doing with my life? What are my relationships like? Connection. You have to be able to connect with people. If you can't connect with people, maybe you shouldn't shoot portraits, weddings, some commercial work. Try to be able to have good connections, with people. Talk to them, make them feel comfortable. Try to be connected with the world, with everything. Be the nice guy, be the nice gal, be connected. People don't refer your Lightroom preset. They refer you. So try to be somebody worth talking about. Subscribe and follow the photography space.